all right. We are here. We are here, a little different this time around. But for consistency's sake, we're going to try our best to keep up with the updates, regardless of what's going on. If you guys don't know, I've actually been gone for almost a month now. I've been in a school in the middle of nowhere. So I have my laptop. My audio is going to sound a little different because I have my microphone literally sitting on the edge of the bed. So you'll hear some background noise. I'm living with a few other people while we're going to school together. So, but there's a BDO update. Now, I've been a little out of the loop. There's a few things that you guys will see that are missing. You'll hear some background noises. You'll probably hear my mouse clicks, as well as people walking around. And but let's not get too distracted. There's a absolute massive update for BDO console. This was actually pushed back a week, so we're a little late in general, like the update. This came out last night, so we're gonna wind up doing though is just slowly going through. It might take me a little bit longer to kind of go from one subject to the other, just because I have not touched BDO for almost a month now. I'm back in 7 days, and I cannot wait to get back into what we got going on. So I've heard really good things about this update, so we're gonna just kind of work our way through it. Now, a lot of this content that's being released, the only benefit is I have experienced this content on PC. Just to remind a lot of people that are enjoying this content, like the video is console oriented, so some of this stuff is us catching up to kind of what's going on already on PC. So let's get into the first topic. So they did the rebalance for DP builds. Now this is huge. I'm not quite sure if this is enough. I did a lot of RBFs after the reworks, and I still felt incredibly powerful. However, my opinion. So we'll go through what actually happened. So instead of minus 25 sheet AP, they've now changed it to minus 60 hidden AP. There's no longer a reduction in the sheet AP for any of the Han, Jin, Bon, or Wan Kharazad crystals. Now, why this is important is you're now allowed to use these in from my understanding, the Adania fights. This update came out as I was getting ready to go to my school. So my understanding, you can run these. You won't lose your sheet stats. You can run the Adania fights. But taking that out of the consideration of the impact it can have on the game, you no longer get the reduction in your brackets you're achieving. So normally when you're losing 25 sheet AP, you would lose the 25 AP plus the bracket AP. But that's no longer the case. However, overall, still a significant reduction in the amount of damage you'll be able to achieve while running the DR or the evasion crystals. We'll look at the accuracies too as we continue. But also, you're no longer gaining sheet DP. So you're just gaining a flat rate of 27 DR. In total, this is also a nerf to the amount of DR that you're getting, because the 25 sheet DP that you would be getting is equivalent to 25 DR plus any brackets achieved while getting the additional 25 DR, or DP. TLDR, you do less damage now, and you have less DR from these Han crystals. But from my personal experience of using these, you still can run them. These are now more oriented towards gear checking and less of a must run with all endgame uncapped builds. So what that means for you is, if you feel like you're ahead of the curve, if you feel like you're achieving that 830, 840 gear score, and you're able to gear check the majority of the players within uncapped content, then these crystals are still going to be phenomenal. You'll run probably one of them. But builds will adjust, and evasion will adjust as well because of the changes to the accuracy crystals, which we'll move our way down to. So the evasion crystals, same concept. No longer losing the sheet AP, you lose 60 hidden AP. You no longer gain the DR from your sheet DP, and now you're gaining significantly more evasion. Overall, I've been hearing some people saying that this is actual buff to the Han evasions. I don't think these were particularly amazing. I think there was niche builds for ninjas and kunos and etc. That can run the evasion sorks sometimes. But now these, I think, are a bit more invasive. However, they're only countering people that don't invest the money into Han accuracy crystals because they buffed the evasion on the Han evasions, etc. But the accuracy crystals also got buffed for 24 additional accuracy. You do lose 5 more AP, but it's absolutely worth it because this now mitigates. This is almost an entire LCAR improvement. So this is huge. If you don't already have a Han accuracy crystal and you do participate in uncapped content, I would recommend getting one of these. You don't need an excessive amount. I actually wound up having 3 of these, and I think there might be a bit too much. I wound up getting rid of 2 of them. So BSR crystals, no changes. Adjustments to the sheet AP. This is not a huge deal at all. If you're not going to change the end goal, right, the Han, then this is nothing, right? These are all stepping stones. Now, what some people might have been doing because of the adjustments to the evasion and the DR, they would be switching over to the DR and evasion accessories, but they wound up getting that out of the way right off the bat and removing 30 AP from all of the evasion and DR accessories as well. So that I think this right here, not so much about a necessary nerf if these changes didn't come in, but they can kind of see if you're going to nerf the DR crystals, people are just going to wind up going back to Cadres like they did a couple of years ago. But they jumped on that right off the bat. 60 on River, Bencho, and Centaur. So very difficult to be able to justify running these with the benefits that you can gain from like 84 evasion on a Hana evasion crystal. All right, but that concludes the adjustments for the DR builds. I'm hoping this makes a difference. My experience is relatively lacking in this. I got about a week of testing. I think it's overall an improvement, but I don't think it is shifting the meta into everyone's just going to run glass cannon. I think this is adjusting more of a horizontal progression, but not just straight up like making these dead content. So we'll kind of see what people kind of come up with. I think different regions and different platforms will have different metas. But I really, really like to see the buff on the accuracy crystals. I think that's huge. And then adjusting the accessories as well. Okay, moving on to classes. So these are all very minor stuff. Now, a couple people did get some adjustments. Now, you guys can go through and look at your own classes. I'll have the link in the description down below because I'm not... there's some basic adjustments for individual abilities. For the most part, this is an AP gain against either straight up for your class for PvP and PvE or just for PvE. So you'll notice, for example, Warrior got a 4 AP gain here for PvP and PvE. But where Ranger wind up getting AP from their Succession Ranger from their class passive, but then they adjusted the PvP ratio so that the damage is the same. So this is a PvE buff to Succession Ranger. And anytime you'll see these charts down below, those are the classes that did not get a PvP buff. They only got a PvE buff. So Ranger PvE, Warrior both, Awakening Ranger PvE, Berserker both, PvP and PvE. Tamer got some adjustments to stiffens and forward guards. I'll leave this on the screen for a little bit, but just real basic stuff. If you guys want to see the actual description and kind of take your time on the individual classes that you guys play, the link will be down below. But right here, important part, they did get AP for both PvE and PvP. Valkyrie looks like they got some adjustments to Breath of Elion. So interesting stuff here. I never actually knew that super armor for self and allies for 3 seconds. I don't think 3 seconds is really enough to make a massive difference, but looks like the biggest difference from here, movement speed, crit damage, crit rate, allies for 30 seconds using that nearby. That's 30 seconds. Changes the skill color, appears more naturally. Okay, basic stuff here. Nothing too crazy. You got a DR buff, it looks like right here. For both for DR with self when you while blocking. All right. Basics Valkyrie changes, nothing too massive. Witch getting a AP with Witch and Wizard getting a 4 AP buff for PvP and PvE. These are interesting changes. Removing magic AP increase on Hellfire, and then adjusting the PvP ratio, so that the 4 AP does not count towards his PvP damage. Interesting. Dark Knight losing a KD on Kama Sylvia Slash. but then gaining it on trap. Added a crit rate effect, added a forward guard, and changed to MP consumption. And they actually gained 6 AP. So Dark Knight, in particular, Awakening Dark Knight with an AP gain. Looks like Striker got the PVE AP buff, adjustments to their skills so that they did not affect the PvP. Same with Mystic. Lawn got a straight up AP gain for PvP and PvE. Shy got adjusted because they were struggling at Star's End. So Star's End is very down attack intensive. So with Shy not having down attack modifiers, they allowed that to be added to an ability as well as an AP gain. Guardian got an AP buff, only succession. No, this is huge right here. So they remove the extra damage to guard gauge effect from all character skills. That's Corsair, I think, is the main character that wound up doing that, according to just yeah, exactly. So perfect. So Suck Corsair no longer just straight up removes your block. However, you'll see later on that they still have the block regeneration effect prevention. Changes the cooldown. Now reset on attack from Twisted Orbit for Awakening Nova, and Succession Nova wound up getting a small AP gain. Sage got an AP nerf. I think this might be the only class that wound up getting nerfed for AP. And then overall changes of skills have been adjusted. It looks like they got the nerf for PvE, but didn't want to affect PvP. Keep overall damage unchanged. Yeah, so. The following skills have been adjusted the values. Okay, so removed 5 AP, but then adjust the value so the skills don't change. PVE oriented. Corsair with increased activation speed of rising, some small changes to succession. Corsair, whirlpool ability. Changes the defensive icon from super armor. They actually added, so change the effect from super armor during the skill to change the defensive effect. Super armor during the skill, invincible, then super armor during the skill. Okay. A couple different. They actually lost a forward guard, gained a super armor. Lost a float, added stiffness and KD. That's pretty damn good. Lost air attack. It's pretty kind of a trend going on. They've been removing air attack from a lot of classes. Rest in peace, Assassin. Gained down attack. That's all right. And here's the increased gauge recovery. So they actually doubled the duration of how long this will stop you from getting your block back. So you no longer lose block from being hit by a Corsair, but you can't gain it back for 10 seconds. Still very annoying to deal with. Added HP on hit, remove the block effect, changed recovery skill. Yeah, so once again, HP on hit. Change recovery HP per hit to restore HP when using the skill. So actually they don't have to hit their opponents anymore for Jetstream. They just get the HP. An accuracy debuff is pretty massive, especially for the changes for the Han evasion crystals. I definitely think we're going to be seeing some more Suck Corsairs. Draconia, a lot of changes. A class that not a lot of people play, especially Succession. Yeah, just small adjustments for guard while charging to super armor during the dash. Like I said, description down below if you guys want to kind of look at your individual ones. Brimbolt Strike got a reduction in cooldown. That's pretty big. Megu lost AP, but then they adjusted the values to just the attack value of the following skills. Scholar wound up losing AP. Okay, never mind. Not just Sage. So far we have Sage, Megu, Scholar. All attack damage ratio of the following skills have been adjusted. To keep the overall PVE damage unchanged. So these are all classes losing damage in PvP, but not PvE. I would double check your individual classes to make sure you understand what's going on. +2 AP gain for Dozo, but change the PvP damage so the AP does not take an effect in PvP. Deadeye, just straight up more AP. Great. Great for them. Huge nerf to Seraph. This is massive. So they gutted Seraph's stamina. They nearly doubled some of these. Straight up double for Vanguard Chase. 75 to 200. Okay, over double for Impelling Thrust. They changed your Impelling Surge. These are your forward Bs and forward right bumpers. 50 more in that. You no longer gain stamina on your Horizon Slash. Change the cooldown effect that so you can use this ability on cooldown now. This is in demon form, but this is rough. This is rough. I think people that are good at the class will be fine, but it definitely makes it so that not only is she already having issues with getting her HP back, but now if you're low on HP, you're really going to have to completely get out of the fight. Still a completely, I mean, it's got to be one of the best 1v1 classes in the game. So I don't think this is not going to kill the class, but it's going to make it significantly more realistic to fight. Having these stamina adjustments. I actually don't think this might even be, I think the stamina might have been too much. And I think maybe the grab is Seraph's biggest weapon. It's very generous. So we'll see how the class continues to develop. So Oliva Academy is out. So we're going to move on to Oliva Academy now. Oliva Academy is the training ground for new players. However, people that have already been playing the game before are going to be able to take advantage of a ton of the rewards from these. In particular, I think it's like 15,000 crons. How it works for new players, right, is you go in and you'll talk to the instructors. Each instructor has their own class they're trying to teach you, and they give you items to perform those tasks: alchemy, cooking, fishing, combat, etc. I think personally this is one of the best updates they've had in a while regarding new players. But for the most part, the majority of you that are listening aren't in it as a new player. You guys are most likely listening to take advantage of the rewards and how they could benefit you and how quickly you can get this done. So in total, there's a lot of tasks to complete. This is definitely going to take you probably to about 2 weekends. If you do play throughout the weekdays as well, you probably get it done within 7 days, 7 to 10 days. The biggest issues with Oliva Academy, like speedrun completions, is the farming and the horse and gathering. But they did adjust a lot of them. So when the initial came out on PC, a lot of the tasks were very, very grindy, very slow. We're most likely getting the adjusted amount. We can tell. I'll tell later on whether or not we get the revamped version of Academy or the older one. But most likely, console gets the newer stuff. So, but let's go through it. So, Oliva Academy, you get the idea. That the intention is that new players will be able to come in and be trained on a lot of these things and understand how to make money through life skilling, as well as giving them the items and tools to do it rather than invest a bunch of money from killing inefficient monsters to buy fishing rods and fishing armor and alchemy tools and whatever it may be. So you'll find this Oliva Academy has its own UI. So menu, adventure, Oliva Academy. And you'll open it up and you'll have an entire task log to complete. So as you're working your way through these tasks, once you complete them, the rewards are on the bottom. There's family rewards for combat and life skilling. And then there's a pass. Now, I think we should have gotten the pass we'll see down below, but there should be a pass in the Pearl Shop for silver. We'll take a look at that and see if they wound up giving this. That'll level your character's life skills up. You'll most likely be able to achieve almost master. Artisan to master in all life skills, minus like sailing and bartering, I think. These are the bigger rewards, major rewards. You get a Pen Black Star box, weapon box. You get a stone for a guaranteed Pen Black Star. You get another Tet Black Star box, and you get a bunch of these hammers. I think you get like 6 of them, but there might be more. I'm not quite sure. I think it might be closer to 10, somewhere between 6 to 10. Maybe it'll show us later on. But a ton of these obsidian hammers. These are hammers that are only good for Black Stars. So in total, 2 free Pen Black Stars, assuming you already have one tent. If you don't, they give you one, but you've already get one for literally hitting level 60. So the goal for this is you to be able to achieve a sovereign weapon immediately. You'll complete seasons, then you'll complete Oliva Academy, and you'll immediately have your sovereign weapons. You also get a 250 stack, Petruzio Pocket Watch, 6,000 crowns. You get more than this. It's going to keep going. You get more than 6,000 crowns. So here's another 9,000 here. Here you go. These life skilling items are incredibly important. Do not sell them if you don't have replacements for them with Manos. These are really good. You never know we're going to fall back onto life skilling. There are things in the future that will be released that you will need to make sure you'll be able to kind of keep up. For example, when they released Harmony Elixirs, only the people that already had a system set up to make them were the ones that were using them, or they were making a lot of profit. So just keep these, throw them on a character, don't think about it. If you have a replacement for them, you can get rid of them. A lot of these prices are going to plummet though, so just be ready for that. All right, new grind zone. This is not really oriented for you to grind every day. This is for new players only 250 AP. Not great money. Kind of gives you a bunch of stuff that you would need for early game players. You get artifacts here, so you don't got to go to Kortug anymore. Traveler's Maps, Kaffir's, Dust, Massive Pure Magic, very important for enhancing Black Stars. BMCs, not a ton of them, so don't worry about it. Tongueguard Ruins, still much better. But this is going to be your weekly kill quest, which will give you more tokens to then purchase more items in the shop. As a player that is already, if you're already 800, 790, 800, 810 gear, you don't need to do the weekly. Just ignore it entirely, complete the academy, and leave it for the new players and move on. So you do not need to worry about the weekly. Okay, let's see what else we got though. Yep, here's a weekly kill quest. There's a bulletin board that gives it to you. There's also weekly, it looks like Cliff will give you a weekly get a echo, kind of similar to the rifts from Seasons. You'll get an echo to spawn a boss. You can kill this boss with a group of friends. It says it recommends 3. Once again, though, not oriented towards players that have already excelled past 750, 760, all the way up to 800 gear score. You don't need to do these. You'll only be completing the tasks within the academy and moving on. Here you go. Here's the echo. You go to Coliseum. You summon your monster and you kill, it looks like an Olin, a Gyfin, or Tauros. In total, the rewards, like I said, nothing too crazy. Very important for early game players, though. 60 to 100 stacks, bundles of Kafras, and some gold bars. Simple stuff. Here are the major rewards that you could use with the Academy coins. You get these Academy coins for completing each individual life skill and combat task. So at the end of the task, you'll get paid out for it, as well as on graduation day, which I didn't see above. We could take a look at it later. But you'll get a mass payout of like 300 or so. But the majority of the stuff that you would want in here, the hammer boxes, 3 per family, you will be able to purchase these just by completing the tasks. 250 stacks, amazing. 200 stack, here's more obsidian hammers, 3 per family. Starter pack, I'm not quite sure what's in there. Probably maids, loot scrolls. Mythical sensors, rebellious crystal, not that great on console. For the people that are watching that are on PC, console does not have crystal breaks. So rebellious is great. And you'll need this, and it might save new players some money, but they're readily available in the market. So, cup crafting boxes. This is huge to be able to get an early head start on your Kharazad cups, and some flames or some embers to help out with getting your fallen gods. This is nice right here. You actually wind up getting how many in total? It's 20? Not 20 coins per 5, 25. So 25% of a sovereign weapon. If you get 100 of these embers of primordial, you'll be able to make a sovereign weapon with the pen black star rather than using the I believe it replaces the Kafras. Most people still go to the Kafra route. So here's some more Kafras, some essence. This is great for your 10 to 100 in total. That actually gives you 2 Kharazads as a new player. So very nice to get some guaranteed essence. You're not going to worry about getting it. Once you've completed everything and you've done your weekly kill quest to be able to, most players, if you've already played the game past the point of 800 gear score, you're not going to be completing these weeklies enough to wind up wiping the entire shop of everything and buying crons. This is inefficient. It'd be better just to grind somewhere else. At the end of your life skilling completion, you'll be able to get some boxes to get some Manos tools. This is really good, especially if you don't have your chair. I believe the chair is in here, right? Yep. So if you don't have your fishing chair done, you can grab that. I'd recommend the flask is really good too. The hunting bag, unless I'm mistaken, I would double check on this, but I'm pretty sure has carry weight. So if you need some, if you're free to play and need some carry weight, double check to see if the hunting bag has carry weight. But really, if you don't know what you need, and you don't think you need anything right now, put it in the box, like keep it as a box and store it away and pull it out when you need it later on. Okay, you got the well. Is this a manor? Storage 200, just some stand. Okay, you got a well, you got, you can use this home and storage. Okay, cool. So you can buy a house here. You can have a dorm. Okay, nice RP. Celebrating the academy, the growth on all servers, class period 1. Okay, cool. So nice little buffs. Combat experience buffs. There actually is a hot time going on too. So, all right. So that is the part 1 for the update. We're gonna move on to part 2 now. Part 2 is, let's see what this main focus is. So let's just scroll down into it. Missions available. Okay, this is really cool. So what they wound up doing was the guild missions. if you don't complete all 10 of your guild missions, these are your kill quests, these are your fishing, this is your sea monster hunting, whatever you do to complete these guild missions. If you don't complete all 10, they will store up to 30. So if you completed 8 of them, then 2 of them will be shifted over the next day, and you'll have 12 available for a cap of 30. This is very nice. Guild history is massive, unfortunately. So what guild history does is it gives you information on when your guild was created, how many wins, how many siege wins, how many nodal wins, how many boss subjugation missions completed, etc. But it's beginning today. So you'll wind up getting information on the guild starting today, not what you've already completed. Rejoin. It tells you how long you take for your cooldown. So if you left a guild for 24 hours, it now tells you when you attempt to join another guild how many more hours you have left. So intro, promote, slight adjustments to the UI for finding parties. Nothing too crazy here. They changed, so I'm really curious to see how this goes. I have not changed where I've been fishing at. I'm a Velia fisher. I throw my fishing around the water. I don't think about it. However, they've increased the rate of getting prized fish in Calpheon and Heidel. So this could be a new spot to fish at. Definitely worth taking a look at it. Maybe do a night, see how what you get compared to your current spot. So I might check it out, but I have not checked this out yet. Pink Dolphin and Grana now. That's great. Rainbow Fish in Valencia City. So it looks like in general, this would be a good conversation with some of your friends that are out fishing. I think the majority of BDO at this point, I would say over 50% of us that are playing on a every other day basis are definitely AFK fishing. So definitely some good conversation about, hey, where are you guys fishing at? What are you guys getting per hour? And put together a little list of some places that you might want to go to, especially if they're abundant. Fishing in an abundant zone compared to an exhausted area, you'll get significantly more fish. And that's great. Grana getting pink dolphins and rainbow fish in Valencia. I'm not quite sure the price of those. So, Royal Workshop. Royal Workshop is really good. We did not have this for a long time on console. This has been out for a while on PC. Why this is important though, there's actually meals. I'm wondering if they show this. Here we go. So you actually get meals that give you combat experience and damage to monsters. A lot of them. So this is something that you might want to look into. This is a little too in-depth. You want to watch some YouTube videos on this. You're not going to get the full breakdown of exactly how to do this. The most important part is it worth it? Yes. If you're willing to put in the effort, put your workers out here and do a little bit of life skilling with the new stuff that you got from Oliva Academy, then the rewards themselves are actually pretty good. So we'll go through really quickly. Notable stuff that was definitely the monster damage, the additional monster damage, and the combat experience. Very good stuff. And life skilling. Energy recovery. That is some new production nodes too. Let's see. Just some minor stuff. In the processing node, crafting menu. Cool. Yep. Life skill and stuff. You know, we love that here. Looks like this is all oriented towards the workshop though. So just kind of keep that in mind. Change. What is this? Add the ability to require trading from the below activities. Okay, so Royal Workshop selling goods, obtain bonus. You actually wind up getting artifacts for trading experience. So if you're trying to get artifacts to leveling up trading. Improved guild crafting. Okay, this is big. So what they've done is making a new guild from scratch, or if you're brand new to the game and you want to get into Node Wars or Siege, one of the biggest roadblocks to do that is making war siege elephants. So they've made making the elephants significantly easier. Majority of the materials, instead of getting like rhino hide, etc., you could just get it from the shops now. So they've made getting elephants and elephant armor basically free. That's including the guild galley as well. So very, very easy stuff. Just removing a lot of this stuff to make it just, if you want to make a new guild, you want to get a Node Wars and Siege, and you're concerned that your elephants aren't going to be up to par. They've also gotten rid of the elephant level. I'm not quite sure if it's going to be shown in this. But just massive changes. Very, very, very good quality of life to up-and-coming guilds. Let's keep going. Yep, change some of the seals on what you could buy with them. So you could buy all the elephant materials that you need. Okay. This is a quality of life. What they wound up doing was they revamped the guild NPC so that the guild shop doesn't have a bunch of garbage that you don't need. So they removed some stuff. They got rid of guild blood. You can now use guild skill abilities with no guild blood. All officers and GMs are rejoicing off of this. This is a real pain in the butt because this weighs something. So if you're an officer or a GM of a guild and you have 300,000 blood on you, it adds up as far as character weight goes. So very, very nice, especially if you're trying to CTG in the middle of a war and you don't have blood on you and you can't use the guild storage during war, etc. Huge, just quality of life, great change. Also just convenience, remove some stuff that nobody cared about in those shops to make it a little easier to kind of navigate through them. Remove guild mount. Yep, so there's no more elephant armor. So, or elephant armor levels. You no longer need to enhance it using artisan memories. You just straight up level 0 armor is equivalent to level 10 elephant armor. That is what this is saying. So very, very convenient. Green grade to blue grade, remove the ability. Yep, don't need to do any of this. They compensated you for some of the effort. Now does this go to the... I'm assuming that's 7 billion to the guild, which is interesting because you don't use guild funds to enhance this. This should be 7 billion to the person who made it, but there's no way that they're going to be able to know. So there's a guild galley, same exact thing, made it significantly easier to get. All could be purchased from wharf managers. So elephant easy, galley easy, removed guild blood, great quality of life stuff. Improved the guild galley. This is all made it easier to get. The following wares have been added to the shops. They've also reduced the amount per on some of these things. So right here, so the Vanadium, I'm sure I butchered that. There's just less. Everything about elephants and galleys are easier. So we're going to move on from this. A lot of this does not affect the majority of people that will be watching. But if you do run a guild or want to run a guild or want to support your guild, this is a good read to kind of go through and see how you can help out. It looks like merge the levels of the past with the guilds. Yeah, they just made it easier so it takes less guild points to be able to max out a guild. Once again, just trying to help out new guilds that are up and coming. If you guys don't know, being in a guild does improve your stats. You get accuracy, you get AP, you get HP, you get DR. But if you're in a brand new guild, you won't get these. You won't get the 20 evasion, the gathering, the fishing. So this is just making it cheaper for everybody. Yep, same. Once again, just cheaper. These are amount of guild points required to purchase these abilities, to own an elephant, etc. So all easier. The storages are all cheaper now. Yep. Alchemy Stone revamp. Let's see what they did with these. No longer appear at the top of the screen. The following items. Great. Rename the bullet. Yep. And change the high value of the items. Splendid and cost. Deleted the... Oh, okay. So all they did was made it so you cannot accidentally simple life skill your alchemy stones away. So people were like grinding them, or they were doing something with them. So there was a way to, oh, there you go, removed the grind function. People were grinding their alchemy stones by mistake. And I would lose my mind if I grinded a splendid alchemy stone. So minor quality of life to avoid that. This is such a dense update. There's definitely be some small minor stuff that I've missed. If I've missed anything that you think should be added, or people should know about, post it in the comments. Because there's just so many added sea crystals. This is not gonna affect many people, and I'm not one to immediately go into life skilling to understand what a sea crystal is. But it looks like crystals can be obtained by defeating monsters while on your ship. That's great, especially for blue battlefield. Increasing your weight, durability, extra damage to sea monsters, and extra damage against other boats. So they're really diving deep into the pirate aspect of BDO, because I mean, blue battlefield, you guys don't know what it is. Basically node wars with boats. Very, very cool stuff. So quality of life and just new content to go for people that want to pursue the boat life, the sea life. Added a new crystal. Add a new crystal, increasing acceleration rotation. This is great. This is great. I'm sure 99% of us have no idea what any of these items are. But I think this is interesting, especially if you're trying to find, hey, you know what? I don't like node wars. I don't like the style of them. I don't like to worry about PvP or learning whatever it may be. This is an alternative event that you could take part in a completely different, very niche community to kind of get started in, especially because on console, this is very against the grain. So you guys would be the pioneers for this. All right, changes to monster zones. Improve. So you'll note both the trees and Gyphons. They basically just changed the combat flow. They reduced some time gaps between monster spawning. They made it smoother. A lot of people have been enjoying this location. If you guys don't know what they, the last update 3 weeks ago, they added Dekia Lantern for both trees and Gyphons. And these locations are oriented for mid-game going to end-game players. These are oriented towards getting your Kharazad Cups done, getting your Dekia artifacts done. They're just smoothing them out, kind of cleaning them up. They're new grind zones. So these are kind of obvious changes that they're going to go through and just kind of make a bit more enjoyable. Great buffs to Star's End. So Star's End is it's difficult to compete with the Zephyros money. So Star's End is initially was significantly less than Zephyros. Now it's more of a competitor, but it's more RNG oriented. But they're helping you out with 6x on Gluttony Crystals, Debo Earrings, and Oils of Immortality. So, and they've also increased the efficiency of Agris at this location. So instead of getting 2 trash, you get 3 now, but it does consume more Agris. So good buff to Star's End, a needed buff to Star's End. What did they do to Bamboo? Change the falling shrine area, the time, and it was no longer change. Okay, so they made it so daytime and nighttime is not a thing in Bamboo. I don't know if this is just one example, but it oh, there you go. Bamboo and Apex. Great. Changes the final GLaDOS fight. Minor adjustments. Improved world bosses. They increased the HP of world bosses. I guess they've been dying too quickly. And they... Is there anything else major here? No, just now they're tankier. Okay. Remove the knockdown from Gumiho. Nice. They may decrease the damage as well. So make Gumiho C10 a little bit easier. The triple jump from Golden Pig can now be hit by a KD instead of a float. That's good. And Sangoon's one-shot side dash bite attack got a reduction in its damage. Only in 1 through 7. Interesting. Okay. Some changes to hunting. Oh, yeah, it's minor changes to hunting. This is big, though. This is actually an Orbita change. So what they wound up doing was during phase 2 of Orbita, when the towers are orange, they removed the minus 30% DP, which is very, very convenient. I didn't think it was 30%. I think this might be a typo. I'm pretty sure it was minus 30 DP. So regardless, it's gone now. Doesn't matter, it's gone. So Orbita is going to be way better to grind at now, just more convenient for those people that are getting ready to go into Carson's grind zone. Tenny. All right, they changed some Agris consumption for sea monsters, it looks like. Okay. Some changes to the... So much boat content. Look, if you guys are into the boat stuff, this is a great update for you. Mano sailing logs, mount growth system. They changed this. So what this is, mount growth system, is when you're training a horse, your horse experience gets stored and you can utilize it when you're ready. So this is very convenient for people that AFK horse train overnight and are trying to get coursers, or they're trying to get their T10 Doom to get all their abilities. You could store up all the experience you gained overnight and then level it up at your own, at the rate that you would like to level it up at, so you're not missing abilities. Very, very convenient. Just stores your experience and you use it when you feel comfortable using it. Okay, adjustments to training experience. Great. Huge life scaling adjustments in general. Some quest and knowledge adjustments, some UI, some system, find party improvements, recruitment ads, level and stat requirements are based, just small UI stuff. and character changes, just easy fixes. All right, and that's all the content as far as what we're getting all wrapped up. But that is not it. There's also tons of events going on right now. So because there's so many, I would like to bring us back and take a look at an overview of these events because there's just so much going on. So you got a live stream going on tomorrow at 14:30 PST. EST would be 17:30, 5:30 p.m. EST. This is great. I really wish I could have made it. Once again, I'm in a class right now. I'm back to streaming in a week. So, but I want to get this video out for you guys. I'm very limited on my setup. I just got my laptop and stuff. So, we got registration is 26. So it's starting today. You can register for the masterclass. We'll look into this in a second. Let's actually pull that up later. Registration ends March 19th. I highly encourage that you get into this. There's titles, there's tons of cron stones. It's very easy cron stones. Just show up. They added main rewards. What is this? Excitement 600 right on this. We'll take a look at this. Festival login rewards. We'll take a look at some login rewards. A cake event going on. Great. Killing monsters spawns cake. Hot time going on. And cheers for 6 years together. It looks like randomly drawed winners. That's great. Territory title. Oh, this is the classes. The class of Kama Sylvia. Special gift for our journey. This just goes on and on and on. Okay, let's take a look at some of these events. So, Masterclass Tournament. We talked about this already in my last video. If you guys want to check that out more in depth. But most important thing is registration opens today. This is the schedule overall. Once again, link down below. But register. You have until March 19th. And it's 1v1s against your own class. So it's class matchups. The rewards are absolutely phenomenal. I'm not going to drag this on too long. Everybody that knows about the masterclass should already. Just all I can recommend is if you have not already, if you have the gear to go, which I think is $790, $780. It's great. Participate in this. It's completely free crons because it's top 32 people, I believe, are getting rewarded, and the odds of your class having more than 32 people very slim. So just showing up, you're getting paid. So easy stuff. What is going on here? Pearls of Spring. I believe I was being told that these pearls you get from grinding, but let me see if I can confirm. Is this us spending money or is this us grinding? Exchange available. So you get during the event, you gather spring pearls in several ways. Great. Okay, so fun. Like these are just that is ridiculously large amount. You better get a lot of these. Earn 300 for taking on world bosses, defeating monsters, and up to 49,000 per round. Oh my god! From login challenge. This is great. This is fun. I've never seen this before. This is really good. I got some catching up to do then in a week, huh? But you get outfit boxes, BD9, the best outfit in the game. Choose your own costume box. This is life scaling costumes. I don't think they've ever given that away. Wizard Gospy. Myth. This is horse gear, I believe. Outfit, permanent flute for calling your horse. This is a great event. You guys can go through this once again with the link, but we need to knock this out. PVE, killing world bosses, and login challenges. Most likely going to be killing monsters. Easy stuff. Log in, kill them. This is it right here. Tame 2 horses, yellow crate fish. Like we do this every night anyway. This is a no-brainer event. Phenomenal choices on this. So, okay, next event. These are login rewards, I believe. Yep, special login rewards. Basics. Oh my goodness. 130 stack, 500 crons, 20 artisans. My goodness. And it says contains all of it. Out of any time, you guys got to let your buddies know to make sure they're logging in. If they're enjoying a break, they're playing whatever Warframe, whatever they're playing, I would recommend your buddies to come over and grab these rewards. 15 days. That's all it takes. That's not bad. AFK fish are 15 days. What do we got going on here? Oh, we got the World Boss, the special gift box. This guy pops up. It should have a time frame. Here it is right here. So NA is 8:30, 4:30, and 8:45. This is PST, so add 3 hours to any of these to kind of figure out your own time zone. If you're on EST, Mountain, Central, whatever it may be. But PST, West Coast time right there. So 3 times a day. Basic rewards, sharps, we need them for alchemy stones, so definitely worth taking a look at. Defeating it, get an event cake. Type 6 years in general chat to complete the quest and claim it. There you go. Where is this event located? Cake in the event quest. Okay, quest event weekly celebration. This is good. Open up your black spirit, I'm assuming, right? You go to the weekly event quest on the far right side, pick this up and type 6 years in. And you get some great rewards, 150 stacks, some juices, 600 crowns. So, wow. This is very good. What do we got going on here? Special gift for our journey. March 5th. Okay, so a little early, but all right. You get the dumbest hat in all of the game. You get a nice statue. We've gotten the statue before. What is this? Did you log in or what? Get a special reward via your challenges. I don't see any requirement. I think you just got to be on the game. Should be on the game and for our 6th year of BDO console for crossplay. I was about to say it's been. This is crossplay is when they merged Xbox and PlayStation because it's been out longer on Xbox. All right, that was a ton of stuff to cover, and I appreciate you guys dealing with the different setup. I know we're lacking. There's a lot of stuff missing on the screen. My volume's probably a little different, but thank you guys for just being patient with me, and I'm looking forward to being back on March 7th. Will most likely be my return stream. So looking forward to seeing you guys out there. Thank you guys very much. And have a good weekend. I think we got, one more day and then we get to enjoy the weekend. So have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Tudo repete como se o tempo parou. Tua imagem gira e nunca cessou.